Hello, sleeping cat. Just thought I'd point that out. What grace I have is enough. There's a Bible verse. His grace is sufficient for me. Something pretty close to that. His grace is sufficient for you. Um, we're all given a certain amount of grace. Grace can more simply be put down to our capacity to handle life and all that comes with it, the good and the bad, with a sense of serenity, integrity, calm, and effectiveness, and forgiveness, and acceptance of those around us, and things that we cannot control, and the people we cannot control. We need a lot of grace in this life. Some of us have been through and or are going through some of the worst times of our life this very moment. And for every person going through a rough time, there is always someone worse. My mother used to say, "But for the grace of God, so go I." There's always someone worse. Whoops. Whoops. I have the grace to handle camera malfunctions and interruptions, and lighting malfunctions and interruptions. I have the grace to handle subpar videos. Have you ever met someone who has had some of the worst circumstances you have ever known or heard of, and dealt with them, moved through them elegantly, peacefully, effectively, honorably, so much so that you admire and respect them and wish to be as they are, the way they handle life, the good and the bad, the way they cherish their loved ones without suffocating them, the way they can care about the world and others, their empathy, and applying it. And in the bad times, the way they suffer, not in silence, but with appropriate vulnerability, capacity to ask for help when necessary, to put one foot in front of the other with their head held high, and always find a way out. Always find a way to move forward. They never find themselves in victim mode. They're always looking for solutions to the problem. And they seem to be much more peaceful and happy than the rest of us, despite their circumstances. It is because they have learned to cope with life with grace. The rest of us look at these people and feel weak. Some of us have emotional and mental difficulties, traumatic life histories. bondage that we keep ourselves tied to, not intentionally. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. But we feel weak and incapable of smoothly sailing the rough waters of life and attaching, but not attaching to the positive things in life. Move with dignity, integrity, power, confidence, vulnerability, faith, hope, adaptability, flexibility, to handle and cope with life as it comes at us, for whatever it may be from moment to moment, and however it may change from here on in. Each of us has a different situation. Each of us has grace. Special grace for a special case. I'm pulling out all sorts of little quotes in this one. One quote video is being quoted. You may need to work your grace like a muscle, like building your resilience muscle or the other skills. But the more you build other skills, emotional intelligence and gratitude and serenity and self-confidence and improving your social interactions and communication skills, expressing yourself, and the list goes on and on and on of becoming more centered and peaceful and making peace a priority and become a problem solver rather than a problem-focused individual, etc. The more grace will fall upon you and grow in you naturally. Everyone's case is unique, and everyone's grace is unique. And you are uniquely, naturally inborn and equipped for your own necessary grace. You just may not have the confidence to realize that you are. Whatever it is that you have faced, you have had a 100% record thus far of surviving that effectively and coming out sooner or later standing tall with your head held high. We all make mistakes. We all have failures and regrets in life. Don't amplify those. There's a learning curve. But special grace for a special case. Your case is unique and special. Your grace is unique and special to you. And though I don't rely a lot on my faith, and I don't expect you to rely on your faith, believe in the universe, believe in your connectedness to other people, believe in intellectual capacities. Another saying from AA is a power greater than oneself. You can reach out to universal grace when you feel your grace is falling insufficient for your current circumstances. Special grace for a special case. And eventually, hopefully in time, you will come to know that the grace you possess is sufficient for whatever life has to hand you. without having to feel ill-equipped, imposter syndrome, unable, unworthy, ineffective. I can't do it. I'm too weak. I'm too whatever to cope. You can. You have always coped, and you will continue to cope because you have the gift of grace. We all do. Uniquely suited for your unique situation. And if in doubt, reach out to the concept of a grace larger than yourself, however you define it. And remind yourself regularly when you find yourself flustered, overwhelmed, and feeling like you can't take another step, you can't get out of bed, you just can't do this anymore. It's an insurmountable mountain. Say this quote to yourself again and again and again until it sinks in. What grace I have is enough. Your grace is sufficient for you. Good morning, goodbye. Hopefully that wasn't too cyclical. I had a hard time compartmentalizing this one down effectively. I didn't say we were all born effective. I said we were all born equipped with grace to handle our ineffectiveness. Good morning, goodbye. Love you guys. Have a good day. Peace out.